Newly crowned champions Gary Antuanne Russell and Subriel Matías ran into each other and took a photo, to which Subriel Matías posted this photo on his IG along with some captions in Spanish. One of the captions translates to something like, "Hey, those that are afraid to die shouldn't be allowed to be born," which essentially means like, hey man, live your life to the fullest, because if you live in your life and you're worried about dying, then you never really truly live, right? Because you should live life without inhibitions. And that's cool. I love that quote. But the other caption that he said in Spanish was that his people want him to chase history. And I will say this too, you know, I think all people should want this fight to happen. And I speak for us all when I say that we, the people, want this fight. But if I don't, and some people don't want this fight, well, forget those people. Don't do it for them. Do it for me.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk, and we are back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. But before we get to it, let's go ahead and smack that like button. Let's do it together. There you go. I appreciate it. It's just that easy, man. It keeps us going and growing. But check this out, man. Like I said in the intro, like I showed you, Subriel Matías, who's a newly crowned 140-pound WBC champion from Puerto Rico, you know, also American and all that good stuff and bonbons, took a picture with the current WBA 140-pound champion who represents America, right? He's American, Gary Antuanne Russell. And I love this fight right here if it could happen, man. I think that this fight is great. I've always wanted this fight to happen, even before Gary Antuanne Russell was a champion, right? Because you remember, Subriel Matías, the Puerto Rican American champion, was the IBF title holder, correct? And before he lost Liam Paro, I was like, man, I want this fight to happen. You know, Gary Antuanne Russell, who was undefeated at the time, going against Subriel Matías, who only had one defeat, and he avenged that defeat. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word avenge. My bad. He avenged that defeat against Petros Ananyan, right? But then he lost to Liam Paro, and then Gary Antuanne Russell lost to Alberto Puello, which is no shame in that, you know, but they both lost. And I was like, great, you know, they could still have this fight, you know, but then they both went their separate ways, with Gary Antuanne Russell going on to fight Jose Rayo Valenzuela and beating him for the WBA title. And then now Subriel Matías going and fighting Alberto Puello, having some fights in the interim, and then fighting Alberto Puello recently and beating the Dominican WBC 140-pound champion, right? Which I thought was controversial, but it's cool because they both have a common opponent, you know, with Alberto Puello edging out a victory against Gary Antuanne Russell, and then Subriel Matías edging out a victory against Alberto Puello. I actually thought that Alberto Puello won both of them. I thought he beat Gary Antuanne Russell in a very close fight. And I also thought he beat Subriel Matías in a close fight. But, you know, it didn't go that way. That's neither here nor there. You know, hopefully he can get those fights back, because I think Alberto Puello is a very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we're here now. And if Alberto Puello has to be sacrificed like it's the Hunger Games as tribute, so we can get the Gary Antuanne Russell and Subriel Matías fight, so be it. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I hope Alberto Puello can bounce back. But in the interim, in the meantime, in between time, I really hope we can get this fight for Unification. I'm telling you, man, this fight has the potential to be Fight of the Year candidate as soon as it's made. You know, it's going to be nothing but fireworks and explosions. You know what I'm saying? I think that it'll be akin to great legendary fights that we've seen between like Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hitman Hearns, Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Corrales, Pacquiao Marquez. Like, I think it'll be akin to these action-packed fights, man.
What?
Alexis Aguelo and Aaron Pryor, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you could throw some other fights in there as well that you could compare them to. Now, hold on. I know some of y'all think like, hold on, Doc, you exaggerate now. I'm not saying that these fighters are going to be on their level. I'm not saying Gary Antuanne Russell and Subriel Matías are on their level from a profile standpoint or achievement standpoint. I'm talking about from an action-packed standpoint. Obviously, neither one of these guys have the accolades of the aforementioned gentlemen that I named before, right? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're the same caliber of fighter or have the same achievements or accolades yet at this point in their career. I'm just saying from an explosive standpoint, intensity standpoint, it's going to be a very competitive, explosive, and exciting fight. That's what I'm saying. So maybe I should compare it to something like, I don't know, Jose Rayo Valenzuela versus Edwin De Los Santos. But even that only lasted, I think, 3 rounds. So I think that this will be explosive like that, back and forth like that, but I think it'll last much longer. And plus, these stakes are for unification between the WBA, Gary Antuanne Russell, and the WBC, Subriel Matías. So I think that the stakes will be higher than that. But that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it'll be an explosive fight. I'm not saying that, oh yeah, Gary Antuanne Russell and Subriel Matías are as good as Aaron Pryor and Alexis Aguelo or Hitman Hearns and Hagler and Pacquiao Marquez. I'm not saying that.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying it's going to be explosive like that. That's what I anticipate. So I think this fight definitely has the ability to be capability to be fight of the year, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, of course, this is just a picture, so I'm not going to jump off the deep end. There's no negotiations. There's no promises. There's no press conferences. I'm just saying that if they're teasing it and it's a unification fight and they have expressed interest in fighting each other before, then, you know, this is the beginning. You know, these are the preliminary steps. You know, take pictures, do you little, you know what I'm saying, have little conversations about it, be asked about it during interviews, and engage and tease the fight, man. It's going to build up the intrigue. So I think that this fight could potentially be one of the biggest fights in boxing from an excitement standpoint, not from a profile standpoint. Of course, like I said, neither one of these guys had the high profile or the following or the backing to be a huge fight, economically speaking. But as far as being a boxing purist, and what, if you pay attention to boxing, then these styles right here,
it's nothing, nigga. Nigga, it's nothing. This shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. Right here. This shit, nigga. This shit here, nigga.
right here. Boy, I'm telling you, man, this has opportunity to be a fight of the year candidate in any year, any era of boxing, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Are you as excited about this fight as I am? The potential unification. I'm not saying it's going to happen next. I'm just saying that I like the fact that they're teasing and having and putting it on the forefront of our minds, man. Gary Antuanne Russell versus Subriel Matías would be fire, man. Yeah, that'd be dope for unification. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Don't forget to smack that like button, but most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. A shout out to my guy Ty for putting me up on game, man. That's my boy. He sent me this photo, man. So shout out to him. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.